Hi guys, and welcome to this channel, narcscon. Here we discuss all aspects of the narcissistic personality disorder, a bit of a mouthful, just in order to understand our experiences with a narcissist and to help us going forward in actually our own personal development and avoiding these personality types or learning how to interact with them going forward if we must. So in this discussion, I'd like to see how the emotional and psychological abuse actually work hand in hand, like a clenched fist. How they actually, the emotional aspect and the psychological aspect of narcissistic abuse need to go hand in hand together, and how a narcissist manipulates you using these techniques. Because sometimes we talk around narcissistic abuse and it becomes very vague, like, was somebody just nasty to us? Did they not treat us well? You know, there's kind of generalizations. So I'd like to get into explaining how it actually works and how it's very torturous, and how we can use a gift that we have, that we can bring into play to protect ourselves against it and to extricate ourselves from the games narcissists need to play to have and maintain control over their targets or victims. So some people do need or can't get out quickly of a relationship with a narcissist. And I'm kind of talking more in relation to the intimate setting here, but it can be a family member that you're very tied to and have to actually manage the situation as you make a forward plan to either have less to do with this person or to escape the relationship via divorce, or however you are going to make your exit plan. Again, that is a coming video. I wanted to get into how to actually manage the situation a little bit while you're still stuck in that dynamic, or if you're out of that dynamic, to understand how the narcissist imprisons you in a mind mess, how they put you in a prison in your mind, in your emotions, and how you can break out of that by understanding how they do it and then by dealing with it in an appropriate manner. So I'm going to take the intimate relationship for this example, and we're going to go through the stages and the different layers of basically, I suppose, a gaslighting abuse that a narcissist often will run on their intimate partner. So we have the narcissist, you know, setting out in the relationship, and they want to embed the person in the relationship, and they're all full of the praises, or they're empowering you and they're building you up and you're feeling wonderful, etc. And that is what we classically term the love bomb phase. You're built up to such a point that it kind of comes to a summit where you're feeling so damn great about yourself, that you're beginning to have a lot of self-respect, self-esteem. You're at the pinnacle of feeling good, and you expect more for yourself, and you are looking for respect because you've been given dollops of this respect, dollops of told you're amazing, dollops of hearing from others how amazing the narcissist thinks you are, and a lot of future faking about what a great future you're going to have. And then comes the point where you maybe do set your boundaries. You aren't as outpouring of your supply to the narcissist. You know that you get to the stage where the narcissist feels they have you hooked, but doesn't particularly like this wonderful creation of you because it's not making them feel so great, and they don't feel as in control of you. They controlled your rise, and now they're going to control your downfall, as they have embedded you emotionally because you've fallen in love with them, and psychologically because they've become a very strong giver of your validation and your self-belief by various different techniques like triangulation, isolation, love bomb, etc. But they've managed to get, for the purposes of this chat, this is where we're at with the narcissist. So the narcissist perceives you as being a little out of control, thinking a little bit too much of yourself. And that is not a good idea for the narcissist, because they're the only existence that actually matters in this relationship. You merely have been groomed to become an extension of them, to do their every bidding, to agree with everything they say, to have no needs of your own, and to be servant, driver, cook, money provider, banker, whatever else, sex provider, whatever the narcissist needs. They've invested in you, and now you need to perform. You're part of them. You don't have self-agency in their view. That's not what the narcissist has signed up for. So the devaluation stage of you starts once they have you hooked. And if you're a very bold supply and you are delighted with this new feeling of empowerment and, delighted with yourself, and you balk against the narcissist putting a lot of control on you, and this is over, remember, a period of time. We're talking months or if not years. So you have that sense of yourself deep in there somewhere, but the narcissist in the deval is chipping away at what they have built as they see it. Your self-esteem, you begin to, because of the manipulations, which we won't go into here, but a big one is gaslighting. They gaslight you into believing that you're absolutely the most amazing person in the world. And you can take a bit of that as okay. It's good that we feel good about ourselves, but they then gaslight you. They don't believe that, by the way. They just put that on you to embed you. They then bring you down from that high place that they've put you. People often describe it as putting you on a pedestal. They want you yanked down off that pedestal so you can mop the floor for them and do their bidding, basically. So they chip away at your self-esteem. And here comes the example, guys. If you have threatened their sense of control, and if they feel, and this is really the trajectory of the narcissistic cycle, that you are a traitor and you need to be brought down a lot of pegs or two, a whole washing line of pegs or two, you need to be brought down under them so that you really appreciate who you have, you're grateful for being part of their world, and you are to lose your sense of self-agency and to kowtow to them and forget about your own needs. That's the ideal position for the narcissist to have their intimate partner in, fully under control and providing all the benefits that the narcissist signed up for when they saw you in the relationship. So they may start off, and this happens over and over and over again, in belittling you, confusing you, stressing you out, giving you an awful lot of jobs to do, basically exhausting you and making you feel incompetent by maybe hiding things on you or telling you that you didn't do that right or that's not what they said. And you get the picture. You're feeling like you are incapable, like you're a bumbling idiot, because that is how they've worked on you to make you feel. And that is narcissistic abuse. It's the first level of the abuse because you don't understand what's going on, because your emotions are involved. You love this person, and psychologically, it doesn't click with you to think that this person is abusing you because they love you and they've been really good to you prior to this. So your brain seeks all the kind of reasons why this couldn't be true. That's level one. They also tell other people that you're making these mistakes or belittle you in front of other people who then feed back to you that the same message that the narcissist wants you to believe, that there maybe is something wrong with you and that you're a little bit, clumsy, you're a little bit scatty, you're not all together. Maybe there's a problem with you. So you have this abuse, psychological abuse, coming from all angles, and the narcissist has you hooked into believing this because you're emotionally involved with them. A lot of people don't actually get through this stage, and this is level 1. A lot of people will have a nervous breakdown, will go for counselling, and unfortunately some people actually get so down at this stage that they will contemplate suicidal ideation, and some people actually will go that far. Hopefully this is less and less and less likely as this education gets out there. So the next stage of this is you finally accept that it's not you that's doing these things wrong, and you get the education, or you go to a counsellor who's aware of narcissistic abuse, or somehow the penny drops. You have a good friend who said, look, you've never been like this before. You've only been like this since you were in the relationship. What's going on? What's the common denominator? And your brain comes around to accepting that this person's a narcissist, or that you're sure that you'd left that there and there was no way that it could be moved except by the other person. So the gaslighting becomes less effective. But you are in a depleted state at this stage because you haven't been working on yourself, on your self-agency, on empowering yourself by following your own interests. You have literally become a shell of yourself, and you need to pour back into yourself to have the strength to deal with what is happening to you in your relationship. And maybe you have had a bit of a mental collapse, some mental health issues, which feeds into the narcissist's pure creation of you being crazy. And it was only a natural, healthy reaction to being gaslit by an abuser. However, they will use any instant of mental health deterioration in you to further gaslight you and other people into believing there's something wrong with you. But here's the stage. You've got through layer 1, and layer 2 comes in where you're aware that this person is abusing you, but you're still stuck within the relationship and can't get out yet. If you then go to other people who the narcissist, remember, has been working on for quite a long time, and you've also displayed that you haven't been dealing with things very well because of the abuse. You go to other people and start to tell other people that this narcissist keeps hiding things on you, that you believe that this person doesn't have your best interests at heart, that you even believe that you're afraid of them, that you believe that they're capable of much worse and that they could even harm you or kill you. At this stage, if you do that, you're building into the narcissist's gaslighting as making the not real reality real. And the people that you tell hear paranoid thoughts coming from you that don't add up with the experience that they have seen, further feeding you into believing from their reactions that there is really something wrong with you, and you second guess yourself again. And at this stage, the narcissist knows exactly where you're at in your mind. The narcissist has a fair idea from your reactions that you know now that they're actually doing this to you. This is the stage, guys, when you can take control and step out of the narcissist's game. The narcissist has effectively silenced you, because the best thing that you can do in this situation is not go to other people that the narcissist has worked on already into believing that there's something wrong with you. And then you go to them and tell them these stories and present as a paranoid person. They kind of say, feel sorry for you and feel that it's part of your mental health breakdown. So the way to deal with this is the psychological and emotional torture, because you know what the narcissist is doing. No one else does. No one else does, unless you have a real supporter out there or your counselor knows someone who can see who the narcissist is and what they're doing. So you feel like you're beaten whatever way you go, that you can't reach out for support. Reach out to somebody who knows about narcissism, but if you've gotten to this point, you've probably got that information already. So the narcissist knows, you know, they know, you know. And there's a stalemate. The best thing you can do at this stage is to stay silent, even though the narcissist has gotten you to this stage. It's game over. It's game over if you stay silent. And now it's time for you to be able to fight back. You've gotten control of your emotions in that you know this person no longer has your best interests at heart, and that the whole love bomb phase was a gaslight because they didn't love you. And the whole devaluation phase is a gaslight because it's all about them again trying to control you. Sounds simple, it's not simple, but it is possible. You have the self-discipline within you to remain silent, not to go talking about the narcissist and appearing crazy, to get on with your business, to get support from a trustable or trustworthy counselor or friend, someone who really does have your back and is on your side. And if not, within our community, wherever you can get the support and be validated for the real reality that's actually going on. If you're in company and the narcissist belittles you or starts to laugh and say, oh, Paula can't remember where she slept last night. Never mind, work that problem out. So we'll have to help her, or whatever joke they make, in your presence in front of people. A very effective way of dealing with that is to stop what you're doing for about 30 seconds, stand there, and then continue what you're doing. You're marking the fact for your own mental health that this is a narcissist abusing you in this moment. And the people around you see the pause, feel the pause, hear the pause, and know that that's your quiet objection to that. And they don't just all laugh at the same time with the narcissist and expect you to laugh as well. It's your way of silently objecting. The narcissist has silenced you because it's the most intelligent thing to do in this scenario. And it's noted with the people that are around you that this is not something that you're laughing at and agreeing with. There are little things you can do within this mental prison that the narcissist has put you if you are unable yet to physically leave, if your exit plan is not fully in place. Self-discipline, discipline of the mind, is going to serve you best when you're dealing with a narcissist. They will always bait you, particularly when they're doing you down in a devaluation phase, particularly when they're doing your character down and trying to destroy you in the minds of other people so that other people feed back the image that the narcissist wants them to have of you back to you to further embed that negativity into you. Take time for yourself, continue your education, understand what's happening, and from an emotional perspective, try your very best to nurture yourself with anyone that does actually love you and towards yourself and your self-care, even in this dreadfully difficult situation. This is the ideal way to combat a narcissist's belittling, putting you down, and gaslighting your mind, and trying to keep you within the mind game that they're playing here. When you can destruct or deconstruct exactly what they're doing, as I've explained it there, you have layers of gaslighting and the progression of a narcissist trying to make you believe that you are not all that and that there's something actually wrong with you. You are the healthy person here. You weren't meant to know this initially when somebody was loving you and then changed the trajectory of the relationship. You weren't meant to understand why other people were feeding back to you that there was something wrong with you. This is insidious psychological and emotional narcissistic abuse, and this is how it goes. So I hope that little explanation of the different layers that the narcissist entangles us in, and why we don't have that clarity initially, because we didn't even know probably that narcissists existed, aside from somebody who looks in the mirror and thinks they're beautiful. So this, guys, is a personality disorder, and that is in essence an example of psychological and emotional abuse meshed together and used by a narcissist on their victim. So there are things you can do, even if you're still within the relationship. Look at it clinically, look at it logically, deal with it logically, and do not play their game. Use the way they've silenced you in a manipulation such as that to be silent yourself and not to agree with what they're actually doing, but to know thy truth within yourself, and to, every time it happens to you, remind yourself that you are wonderful, you are healthy, this person is disturbed, and the truth is the truth, and reality is reality, and you are not forgetting things all the time. You are being abused by a narcissist. Onwards and upwards, guys. I will see you again very soon. As always, please consider sharing, subscribing, and liking, whatever you can do to support the work and to get it out there to more people. Take care. Bye.